What's going on, y'all? It's recording, right?
Yeah, it's okay.
It's Jude with this at the third podcast.
It's K-Star with this done third podcast. I don't know why he didn't let me introduce myself before he said the
man.
name. But you, I ain't talked to you in a minute, bro. What's new in your life?
Why, bro?
Talked to this nigga yesterday, earlier today. The whole day, actually been talking to
We
this
talk
nigga.
damn near every day, but what's new? Shit, what's new, bro? What's fucking new?
That's the question I just asked you,
That's
bro.
the question.
That's what I want to know.
Bro, I don't know, man. Like, obviously we in a new environment back at school. I'm fucking with that. Shit, new responsibilities. I've been thinking about that a lot because, like, you know, when I'm at home, my responsibilities be getting money. Like, obviously, like my car, my phone, like shit that I'm responsible for, like paying for. But when I'm here, it's like a whole different set of responsibilities, like school shit. Need to be staying on top of that, making sure like I'm having a schedule because I got a lot of free time. I told you, like I got class Monday, Wednesday, Friday, but then Tuesday, Thursday I don't got class. So making sure like that making sure I'm structuring my day properly, so I'm not just shitballing, wasting time. I feel like freshman year, sophomore year, like in the beginning, I had a bunch of free time, and then we obviously would find shit to do. But like now, I want that to be more structured because I mean I'm getting older, bro. I'm about to be 20 soon. Birthday January 27th. Shout out all the Aquariuses out here.
Fuck the Aquarius.
Don't diss my
The Pisces are much better. February 25th.
Don't diss my joint, bro. But yeah, so new responsibilities, bro. Like new, just I feel like when I come back down to school, it's like a different chapter of my life that I enter into. So it's like just honing into that and then just having fun, bro. Just enjoying this experience. Like, bro, you gotta think, like when we at college, it's the time that we really around all these people trying to create different things at one time. This guy just dropped the mic.
Fuck you.
But I feel like now is just the perfect time to just keep creating, like doing what we're doing. Keep trying to just not only stay consistent on the goals that we already had prior, but like really focus on creating new things. Like we're in a new environment, new time of the year. It's technically the beginning of the year, even though the year really changes in the spring.
What, that was a gym?
When I just dropped the gym. But yeah, like just trying to create new things. Be consistent on the things I already have now, but focus on creating new shit.
That'd be the hardest part. I ain't gonna lie. Like staying consistent when you get back to school.
Yeah.
And when you go home, because I be hella people be talking about, oh yeah, why they was home. This what I'm gonna do when I get back. This what I'm gonna do when I get back. Then they get back, and then that first week, that's when they do their shit right how they supposed to be doing it, and then you just see a crazy ass drop off.
I agree.
Like after that, so how do you keep yourself like, all right, I got these new things I'm trying to do. How do you keep yourself consistent with all of that?
I feel like you should answer that question, bro, because with me, my schedule is kind of more loose. I just have school within like from like 11 to like 4. I have school. And then other than that, I know it's stuff that I have to get done. Like for example, if I have to do work, I'll block out a time to do work. But with your schedule, it's a lot more like structured. Like you have class, you have shoots, you have meetings. So what is a way that you like specifically make sure you was more consistent with like the things that you needed to do, and how do you structure your schedule as a college student? You said.
So the way I'm gonna answer the first question. The way I stay consistent with what I'm trying to do, and the way I make sure all the new things I'm trying to do, I keep them consistent. Like I said, I try to, instead of change what I'm doing, I try to alter my state of being. So if I got these things that I'm trying to do, like I know I'm trying to go to the gym 3 or 4 times a week. Like that's something I want to do, rather than just trying to keep telling myself go to the gym or keep trying to tell myself to do different things and just trying to expect the outcome to just happen. What I do instead is I try to alter who I am. So I try to understand, okay, how can I be the type of person that goes to the gym 3 or 4 times a week? How can I be the type of person that stays consistent? Because once you become that type of person and you start to change your state of being from one thing to another, that's when the action comes.
Mm-hmm.
The being is the driving force behind the doing. So, like, you see all these people that they be hella rich, like they have hella money, and if they lose money, they get it back easily. Like, it's easy for them to get money back whenever they lose it. That's because those are people that are in the state of being of money, and they're in the state of being of somebody that has everything that they want for them. So it's the same thing with staying consistent with goals and staying consistent with anything you're trying to do. Once you change your state of being and get to start to vibrate on the frequency of a person or an energy that is attracting everything that you want. Everything becomes easy. Like
Everything
the
becomes
strategies that you implement, like the practical strategies, they just become hella simple. Like once you're like people that are really rich, like I said, and that have hella money and all that, they don't have like specific, or they do have strategies that they implement to get rich, but those strategies were planted in their mind once they became the type of person to get rich. So once they change their state of being, the idea of how to get rich and the strategies that they're going to actually use in the real life, how to get rich, it just came to them.
It became natural.
It became natural because that's the type of person that they are. But you'll see people that do hella shit to get money and they can't keep it because they're not on that frequency of somebody that really knows how to make money and keep money.
And you know what's crazy though, K? Like we talk about this in a lot of our videos. I've been watching a lot of our videos lately.
We say this shit like every time.
Back, and we say it every single time. So I don't like that we repeat content or say the same stuff, but it's also like these life lessons like translate to so many different things though. Like just being attracting, like when you forcing what you want, that's not how you're gonna get it. But that's like that applies to so many different things though. Like so many different things. And it's like when you break it down to a simpler level, that's how you understand like what applies to this, how this applies to that. But you really have to go through it though. Like I was talking
a real life experience.
I was talking to Samaj earlier. He was telling me like, how do y'all be coming up with the ideas for y'all content and stuff like that? And I was like, bro, like we're just reading books, but like this shit be off the dome. Like we really just set the camera up. We'll have like a specific topic or something that we want to talk about, and then it just comes off the dome of stuff that we've like read about or tried to learn about and try to educate ourselves. And I kind of want to talk about that a little bit too. Like, even though we at school for here to learn, I don't feel like you can ever be at an age to stop educating yourself. Like,
there's always going to be new things for you to learn.
Always, bro. Even from people, like interactions with people, like I feel a different type of energy when I'm here now, because it's like I'm around so many different people my age that I can learn shit from, because they've been through so many different things, so many different experiences. Like,
and the crazy thing is, it don't even just be like you learning new concepts. Like, yes, it's cool to be learning hella shit like that you can apply to your life. It's cool to be learning hella life lessons, but it's also cool to just learn people, like to get to know somebody and really learn like every aspect of their personality, really understand who they are as a person. Like, that's something new that you can learn, especially at this school where there's so many people around, and in the city where there's so many people just everywhere. Like, there's so much you can learn from, and so many people that you can learn from, and just so much that you can learn in general. It's like you can never stop getting exposed to new things to learn from and to learn. It's always something around.
And the idea that I had, that also I want to make a video about it later, is kind of detaching from your biases and things like that. When you're around a certain type of person for a long time, or like from your hometown, like for example, people from Baltimore, they'll say things like, "Oh, I'll never get out of Baltimore," or like, "That's all I know in my whole life." So they'll just stick with that bias that they have. But then when you're able to get out of wherever you're from, going to a new environment, a new place, even a new person, and you see their biases, that's like, damn, like this person has a whole different perspective on life than I do. So
what was an experience for you when you got down here that was like, this shit is not Baltimore, this is something crazy new?
Bro, probably just like Noah. If y'all don't know who that is, that's my roommate. Well, my old roommate. Just talking to him, how he like was so outgoing, like friendly. Like that was probably the first thing. Like, damn, he's friendly as fuck. Or like he talked to everybody, and I used to think it was like why he doing that? Like he too outgoing. But then I realized like all you have is your word and your name and your image. For real. So when you're able to build those connections and people can vouch for you when you're not in a room, that's a big thing. So you want to do that. You want to be fostering those connections with people, even if it's something short as saying hi and bye to somebody. I'll walk, bro. My thing that I still gotta work with to this day is like walking past people that I've been knowing. And it's like,
you definitely just keep your head down, just keep that
if
shit
I'm not in the mood to speak, or if I got somewhere to be, I'm gonna just keep it pushing. Like I see you when I see you. I know you, but just that little bit of a, hey, how you doing? What's up? Just chopping up for 5 minutes, that makes a big difference. Fostering a connection with somebody makes a big difference. And tying it back to my biases, like the bias that I had about like niggas be on some, like niggas shouldn't be on no reaching out to somebody shit. Like niggas shouldn't be on no friendly shit trying to build a connection. But then I detached from that bias, and I saw how building a connection, what that did for somebody. It made their face, it made their name, it made their image more known on campus. And it was like, damn, that's something that I want. But here's him showing me how to get it. So that was me having to detach from my bias and try that. And then it was like, damn, I fuck with this. I fuck with connecting with different people. I like asking people questions about their livelihood and things like that, and asking people their perspective on different things, because that's how you detach from your bias, and that's how you really get the most out of new connections that you get from people and places.
And that goes right back to what you were saying earlier about experiences. Like, you have to have these certain experiences with, because like how you said, for you, like just using this as an example, you said how talking to new people or being outgoing and talking to somebody pretty much like every time you see them, even if you're in a rush, that's something that's new for you. You can apply that same principle to anything else that is new for you. So if you're somebody that's like being, like for me, I'm the exact opposite. Being reserved is something that I had to learn to implement in my life, and I had to learn how to use that for me as well.
Right.
So in both of our examples, it's a thing of like, you have to learn that the only way you're gonna attract those new things, and for you, being outgoing is a new thing, and but that new thing is going to bring you new opportunities, new experiences, all this different stuff. What is important to learn in that is that you're learning it through like present experience. Like, you have to be experiencing it and like how we talked about earlier, you learn a lesson from everything. You have to be sitting there and really understand, okay, this right here is something that's new for me, and this is how it makes me feel when I'm indulging in whatever is new for me, and this is what I can learn from doing it. Like, when you interact with people now as opposed to before, like when you were starting to build that foundation of somebody that is outgoing, that foundation of somebody that does speak to people when you see them, you had to have so many new experiences. You had to have so much new shit happen to you that's just either you've never been exposed to, or that you've been like kind of putting a blind eye to because that wasn't the type of person you were.
Right.
So in those new experiences come so many like
little lessons,
super
lessons, like little lessons.
And the little lessons are the ones that change everything. Like, the little lessons are the ones that change your life. They change everything around, because the little lessons are the ones that are the easiest to also miss, and they're the easiest for you to be like, okay, this is a little lesson, and little lessons are probably easy ones, and you're like, okay, since this is little and it's easy, I can skip past it and still be okay. But realistically, that little shit that you just do consistently, right? That's the shit that's what pays off, and that's what pays off, bro. That's the slight edge, gang. And it's being present in those new moments. It's not just doing new shit. Like, if you that's what that's the doing versus the acting. When you just do some new shit, like if I say, okay, I want to be more outgoing, and I just go to a party and go to the party and sit in the corner and don't talk to nobody at the party, just to say I was at the party and I did something new. Nothing is going to change about me and my future, because I'm not changing who I am. I'm just changing the things that I do. And your actions are only outcomes. So you have to really, like I said, be present in those new experiences. Like, okay, I'm doing this for a reason. Let me just soak it all in. Even if it's not going to be a pleasurable experience at first, let me do what I can do so that going forward, I can transmute this from something that was once uncomfortable to something that is a very pleasurable experience by just being present in every new experience and old experience that you go through. Every single one.
Yeah. He really just spitting out. The reason I wanted him to keep going on that topic is because that's something that's like a big thing for people. I feel like when they're going through different times in their life and gaining different perspectives, and they're like going through so much, and they're wondering like, why are they going through so much? It's because you need to learn something from this. Exactly. And when you're not learning anything, when you're just doing, you're not learning anything. It's like you're going to keep repeating the same cycle of whatever's going on, because you're not learning from the experience. You're not gaining that wisdom in order to grow. Like, as a person, we all gain wisdom to grow each and every day. So it's like, even if it's small, even if you don't even pick up on it, but if you don't pick up on it, that's when you're going to keep repeating the same stuff, because it's just you're going to keep being in that loop. Like, until you learn, until you elevate in some way, shape, or form, just a tad bit, you're going to literally get repeated the same things, just in different situations. And you're
never going to grow.
Man, why does this keep happening? But it's like, you have to learn. Once you really learn, step back and learn, take something away, that's when you're going to be able to say, damn, and your perspective is just going to switch.
I heard a quote one time that I have in my notes. It's like the first quote I ever put in my notes. It says that knowledge without experience is intelligence. Experience without knowledge is ignorance. But knowledge and experience together is wisdom. So when you really go through something and you're able to say, okay, I just went through this, you just had that experience on whatever it is, when you can look back on it and then say, okay, this is what I learned from it, and then next time you have that experience, you're able to apply that knowledge that you just had to that next experience. Those are the type of people that we call wise. Those are the type of people that we look for their advice and for their words, because they have been through what we've been through, or have been through something similar to what we've been through, but they can also speak on it in a way of where they're not just sharing what they've been through. A lot of people, and it goes back to that party example. you can have that experience of going to the party, but without any knowledge of why you're at the party, what you can gain from the party, and without any presence of how can this party serve me or what can I gain from this party. You're just gonna have that. You're just gonna have endless experiences, like you said, that just gonna be going like this. It's gonna be a revolving door. You're not gonna be going nowhere. It's gonna be having a lot of movement, but it's not gonna really be making any progress because you're not coupling knowledge and the experience together.
Right. Hey man, this is a real quick brief video that we just pretty much just dipped up, bro. We was thinking like how we finna do this, but
if y'all saw us behind the camera, we was like sitting there like, what are we gonna talk about? Like we
every
have no
single
idea.
time, bro. Like we just do what we do, bro. Just come up with shit. Well, not even come up with shit because this is real life lessons and things that everybody can just apply to their life. But like,
y'all have access to this too. You just gotta tap into it.
Just gotta tap into it, bro. Just be present. That's the main thing. Be present. Be willing to learn. Like that's the main thing. Is like that I want to shape this video around. Is be present. Be willing to learn because it's like you're gonna learn in whatever environment you're in, whether that be you at home, whether that be you out on the street, whether that be you on vacation, wherever you is, you can always learn.
Always.
So be willing to learn. Be willing to open up to something new, like, but be consistent with that, though.
Literally,
be consistent with the lesson that you learn and the things that you picking up on. Be consistent with that, and then just tap in, bro. Tap into yourself, man.
Real rap. I don't even got nothing to say, man. This K-Star.
This Jude,
and we out.